Hey guys, it's Allison with Imperfect Pages, and I am back with another journaling video. This one is going to be kind of just a random video, just kind of adding some ephemera and stuff into my composition book that I'm using. I have it open to this page because I worked on this last weekend. I threw some random acrylic-y craft paint on the pages, and then I painted a leaf and stamped it down onto the page, and I think it turned out really neat. So I thought I would show you guys that. It was super easy to do, and I think the page actually turned out really well. So yeah, I guess I will just dive right in. Let's open up to a blank page here, something that's not, okay. I wanted to collage this side because if I write on the back side of that page, I noticed that some of the writing will show through the paint. So we're going to collage that. And let's see what stuff we have here. I have some random ephemera that I would like to use today. It's just nothing fancy. But I think I want to use some of this. Maybe like the top of this magazine clipping here. Got some book pages with some doodles on them. This painted book page with some failed leaf stamping, but you know what? The watercolor still looks neat, so I'd like to use that. And I've also got this magazine clipping and this rose vellum, and I think that would look really neat on one of the pages. So yeah, let's see what we've got here. I'm gonna start with trimming this here. And I think I will rip the edge of this, use it as a corner piece. I definitely want to use this magazine clipping. And you know what? I kind of like this title, this What's in a Name? That might be a neat journal prompt kind of thing. And I love this blue bird on here too. That is just beautiful. You know? Yeah, I think I do like that on there. But it needs something else behind it too. So let's see. You know what? I've got some I've got some more map scrap, and I did just film a travel journal video. I don't know if it'll be up before this or after this one. So you will probably, one, recognize the background with the newspaper from that video, depending on when it gets uploaded. But you also might recognize the use of maps. I really enjoy using maps as backgrounds. It adds a lot of color, and it adds some dimension to it without it being like too bright and overwhelming. Just adds some nice texture. So we're just ripping a piece of map apart here. So I'm gonna rip it kind of in half. And now we've got this nice piece here that I think will fit. It almost fits under it, so I guess we'll rip it a little bit skinnier. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, we are going to glue this down. I gotta sit though. And get this glue goober off. Gross. Okay, let's move these scraps out of the way here. And we're just gonna start gluing. You know, if you guys watched my last composition collage video thing, you know that my pages don't have a lot of thought put into them, I guess you could say. There's not a specific technique, oops, or anything that I use when it comes to putting stuff down. I just kind of put stuff down wherever suits my fancy that day. And I know I need some tape along the top, some washi tape, so I'm going to use, this Ticket washi tape along the top. It's kind of hard to see when it's on the roll. My fingers are sticky from the glue. I'm gonna measure it out roughly. Like I said, I don't do anything super exact on my collage pages. I just kind of go for it. And honestly, it works well for me. It may not work for everybody, but I feel like I've gotten past my perfectionism enough to just kind of collage however I want. And it's been really freeing. It's wonderful to kind of mindlessly work on my projects instead of having to put so much thought and effort into them. And I'm not saying that there's no effort that goes into these, because there definitely is some, but it's not, but I don't feel like I have to have extreme anxiety every time I sit down to work on a project, which is really nice. So we're gonna add, I'm gonna take this paper, and I know I already, actually, we'll take this scrap of it. I'm just gonna rip along the edge. I'm just gonna add a few little pieces of it for some color. Maybe a piece like right there. I have this more like squarish piece that maybe we'll add here. And yeah, I like that there. So we'll just kind of glue and shove this stuff on there. Yep, works for me. So we'll skip ahead several pages. There we go. That's better. And I think I want to use these book pages with the doodles, and I'm going to go back and paint these later. Or I'll paint them now, maybe. Let's just see what we've got here. I think I will paint them. And you know, I know they're super messy looking. Like, there's definitely no artistic ability in those. But literally, the name of my channel is Imperfect Pages. So none of my pages are anything fancy or grand looking. And if that's what you're here for, sorry to disappoint. But that's just me. I've never made art for the purpose of, you know, selling it or, you know, making it to make it look good. I enjoy creating for the process of it. It's good for my mental health, and yeah, I mean, that's just how I create, I guess. And we're gonna use some of this reddish color too. Ooh, that went on really thick. Let's add a lot of water to that. Oops, we're making a mess here. And that's okay. And once the watercolor dries, I might go over this with like paint markers. I have some Arteza paint markers that I think would add an interesting texture to this, especially since I made it really gross and plumpy looking, but that's okay. Like I said, we're here for the process, not for the finished product. And the coffee cup, I want to make that more of a, I think I want it to be like a bluish color. Or maybe even, ooh, maybe a gray color. I think maybe that would work well. I hardly use the gray because I'm so anxious that it's not going to turn out how I want, which is odd because I literally just said I make things for the process instead of the product. But I'm always nervous in trying out colors that I don't use often, such as grays and blacks, especially for watercolor. Just because, I don't know, I get a little nervous trying new colors, but honestly, I don't mind that. I don't mind the way it looks right now. Okay. I wish those would dry faster. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and add the brown because that's supposed to be a coffee cup. And it wouldn't be a coffee cup without some coffee. And I don't mind if it blends with the gray a little bit. That doesn't bother me at all. Okay, let's add a little bit more. Okay, those I'm going to set to the side to dry because I didn't think that part through very well. We're going to set it on the floor in the sun and hope that it dries quick. And in terms of these pages, kind of the collage aspect that I had mentioned, I think I want to add this bird to it. So we're just going to, I'm just going to cut right along here. Ooh, and these flowers on the back are cute, so I'm going to save these for a different day. Those will definitely be getting used somewhere. We're going to just add this Wilson, I guess. I don't know why it says Wilson. I don't know if that's the name of that's not the name of the type of bird, I don't think, but I don't know. I'm not a bird expert. I wish I was. I would like to learn more about birds. And we're just gonna put this blue piece of scrap paper, scrapbooky paper stuff on, oop, my glue stick's gonna keep falling over, I guess. I'm just gonna stick it here. And we'll stick this blue bird. Oh, this one's kind of neat on the back too. The hair, or feathers, I guess. I'm not sure what you would call it. But that's kind of funny. That's how my hair looks in the morning when I wake up. It sticks straight up some days, I swear. Okay. I'm gonna just throw this on here. I think the blue background really brings out the bird. And we're just gonna use some of this ticket washi again. Just right along the top of here to kind of balance out the fact that my cutting wasn't very even. It didn't line up with the pages very well. And I kind of want to add another small piece of map to this. I don't know, I'm really enjoying the look of maps recently. And especially just as little pieces of just like little bits that just add some texture to the page. Like that doesn't really add anything significant to it, but it just adds another layer for texture, and I really like that. So that's there. What else can we add to the page? We're gonna skip ahead a few pages, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with this journal. Like, it's been such a nice place to just kind of pour everything into. And I've really enjoyed just having everything in one place recently. I know over the summer I had way too many journals going, and it was starting to get overwhelming. I'm just going to use this piece of magazine cutout. I'm just going to stick it on this page here. And yeah, it's been really nice to just have everything in one place again. It kind of takes me back to my roots of how I started journaling. When I started journaling, I had a sketchbook that was had been gifted to me for Christmas one year, and it sat on my shelf for a while. And I decided one day to just start pouring everything into this sketchbook. I mean, all my drawings went in there. I started writing. I was putting stickers and a little bit of washi, and just absolutely everything was being poured into that journal. And it ended up being the first journal that I ever filled, and was absolutely, I mean, it changed my journaling forever. So maybe one day I'll do a flip through of that one. Like I said, it was my first journal. There was a lot of blank space in there. I mean, every page has something on it. It's just not all finished pages. But that was what I needed at the time. So really, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna just add some washi to this page, pretty messily along edge here, because that magazine clipping didn't have a straight edge. So there's that. And we're just gonna add some washi to the other page here. Both of those washis came from Michaels several years ago. I don't know if they still have them. I'm honestly surprised that they've lasted me this long, especially this floral one. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, there's that, and I'm just gonna add some watercolor splatters to this page on this side. And I think I'm gonna add some gray too, to kind of bring out the gray in the washi tape. And we'll add some more purple splatters because I really like that vibrant purple color. I think it's just stunning. Okay, another page done. And let's see, what else can we add to this? Ooh, I wanted to add this somewhere in here. So we're going to go find a page that really doesn't have. Okay, this page here. Let's add some splatters to it. I think I want to do some pinks. I think that'll look really neat behind the vellum. And some purple, because I really, really like this purple. And I've really loved this splatter technique recently. It adds a really interesting texture to the, or really interesting pattern, texture, whatever you want to call it, to the page, but it is messy. So that's why I have the newspaper behind the journal. That way I'm not getting paint splatters all over the coffee table. And I'm going to use this washi here to add the vellum to that page. And you know, I probably should let these pages dry before I start sticking stuff onto them, but I don't have the patience for that, so it is what it is. And I'm gonna stick the vellum on this side. I know I'm adding a lot of stuff to the left side, but oops, it's not as even as I would like it to be. The left side is sometimes harder for me to write on since I am a right-handed person. So I like putting things on the left side. That way I can focus mostly on writing on the right side of the page. Also, the left side of my journal is getting pretty chunky. I mean, look at this. I'm definitely over halfway through this book, so it is getting harder to write on. And that's fine, that's how it's supposed to be, but it definitely is getting difficult to write on the left side. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut these doodles out of these book pages. And I'm gonna stand up again. I'm alternating between sitting and standing for these videos because it hurts my back to do either one. So I need to work on a better setup. But I have to follow the natural light, which changes in my house throughout the seasons. Here's one of those little doodles. So yeah, that has been interesting. Sorry, I know my rambling is kind of all over in these videos. I hope you guys don't mind. I assume if you're watching my videos, you've probably watched some of my other ones already, and you know that my videos are very rambly. So, sorry, not sorry, I guess. Okay, here are these. I really need to dry this, I think, to be able to work on it. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And yeah, I'm back to this first page that we started collaging on. And I think I'm gonna add this little coffee cup to this collage here. So we're just gonna throw some glue on here. And just stick that there. It's not completely dry, but that's okay. It's dry enough for what I need. And I'd like to find a place for that other one, the pumpkin. Okay, yeah, we'll stick it on this page here. And I can always go back and add the extra details and stuff to this later. The details on the pumpkin, I'm gonna go back and add some texture and stuff with some Posca paints maybe, or colored pencil. Watercolor and colored pencil seem to work really well together. They add, it's a nice way to add detail to some basic watercolor. And since it is a book page, using colored pencil or marker or whatever, it just kind of covers up the text. That way it doesn't matter what's actually on the book page. So yeah, there's that. So I'll just go ahead and go back through the pages that I made today. So we did this one here, just this little simple collage. This here, I just added this to it, so we didn't add, it wasn't anything too fancy. This here was super simple. And this one, I just need to go back and trim the edge on that. And this page here. So yeah, that is it for today's journaling session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a nice fall so far. What are your plans for Halloween? If you have any fun ones, if you're dressing up, let me know what you're going as in the comments. I'll be sure to post my Halloween pics on Instagram. So if you're not following me on there, I will. It's the same name as my YouTube channel, Imperfect Pages, but I will try to link it below as well. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys next time.